Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to talk about some more Ninja Turtle stuff, and pretty much my least favorite version of the Turtles on the big screen. There we go. And that is Mutant Mayhem. They are my least favorite Turtles movie that we've got. I felt like it could have been way better, but they chose not to, and I'm really hoping that Mutant Mayhem 2 is significantly better than its predecessor. And I'm even hoping that the series that we're going to get is going to be better. I am recording this on January 14th, so I don't know if like when the series going to come out. It could easily be coming out by the time, or it came out, whatever. By the time this video comes out, who knows? But I don't even know the date. So, anyways, let's get into this article that says Mutant Mayhem. The screenwriting article, by the way, that says Mutant Mayhem 2 needs to break from a tiresome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie trend. And I am very curious what they mean by that. So let's dip into here, shall we? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2 needs to break from the tiresome trend that has been hurting the movie franchise for decades. After the success of Mutant Mayhem, TMNT already has more plans set in motion for the latest depiction of the Turtles, with a TV series and a movie sequel on the way. Mutant Mayhem 2 to be on course to break the record by becoming the highest scoring Rotten Tomato film in the franchise, the first movie in the current holder, and with all the exciting updates. Mutant Mayhem 2 has the potential to be the best movie outing for the Turtles yet. And I'll agree. I'll agree. If they play their cards right, if they utilize the Shredder and the characters in the right way, and pretty much have this movie be where the turtles go back into the sewers, essentially too, besides having to stay out in public, stay out in school, and actually stay true to the Ninja Turtles, what it makes the Ninja Turtles, then I have to agree with this last statement of where Mutant Mayhem 2 has the potential to be the best Ninja Turtle movie to date. Could even like it could easily kick the 1990s film, Ninja Turtle film, out of that placeholder, which has a lot to catch up then, because the first movie was the first Mutant Mayhem film was in my opinion, good kids film and Ninja Turtle film. Anyways, let's see where this takes us. To achieve this, the sequel will have to overcome a trend that has been plagued the franchise in the past, with Mutant Mayhem becoming arguably the best TMNT movie. There shouldn't be no reason for the next installment shouldn't even be better. I have to disagree about like Mutant Mayhem being the best. The 1990s film is the best, followed by Secret of the Ooze, followed by the '07 Ninja Turtle movie. Those are my top three list. They're saying Mutant Mayhem had already had a stacked cast, but with how successful it became, even more actors may want to get on board in the project. In addition, the franchise's most iconic villain has been confirmed for the sequel, setting up an even uh, better plot. On paper, this all sounds very promising, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has a bad history when it comes to movie sequels. I mean, again, like you can say that the Secret of the Ooze wasn't as good as the 1990s film. I'll give you it, but like it was still good in my opinion. Like, and I have to say, like Michael Bay's Ninja Turtle sequel was better than the than the original, in my opinion. So I would have to say like Ninja Turtles doesn't have like a bad history when it comes to the sequels, because like I said, movie sequels, because Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows was way better than the 2016 Turtles. Secret of the Ooze may not have been as good as the 90s film, I'll admit that, but it still holds its own. And both 26 Out of the Shadows Turtles and Secret of the Ooze Turtles will annihilate Mutant Mayhem. No contest. With that said, let's go. There you go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies usually have an awful sequels. Although TMNT has solid movies in the past, it is very rare, but the sequel lives up to the hype of the first movie. The 90s film, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, was a fun outing that wound up being a box office hit. This set up the perfect opportunity to make it a great sequel, but Secret of the Ooze was anything but perfect. So was Mutant Mayhem, but at least, like I said, Secret of the Ooze was can stand on its own. Like with if they use like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, then I'll have to agree with them. But like Secret of the Ooze is like a kind of like a bad example of that, because like that was a solid movie. Number 3 was like anything but perfect, pretty much. Like what kind of drugs are this person taking? Anyways, not only was it lackluster, but it also performed much worse than the first film financially. Okay, I made a video on my channel, and I did say what was the downfall of the 1990s Turtles. And what I strongly believe was the downfall of the 1990s Turtles was they listened to parents who had no business bitching about the Ninja Turtles with the original Ninja Turtles film. Because they say, oh, it's too violent. Like, and have you read any comic books? Because the original Ninja Turtles, they were dark and gritty, much darker and grittier than the 90s film. So miss me with that. Anyways, in 2014, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had a dark and gritty live-action movie that had a that had a mixed reception that was solid. Well, that was a solid start to the reboot. I wouldn't call the first like Michael Bay Ninja Turtles gritty. I will. The 1990s film was like you can count as gritty. I don't want to count the Michael and the dude who did Transformers. I want, which I don't know why I spaced what I'm saying, but I want to call the 2014 and 2016 Ninja Turtle films dark and gritty. Oh, sure, maybe dark, but not gritty. Anyways, I'll give the dark part at least a little bit, but not gritty. Anyways, the sequel, Out of the Shadows, didn't maintain the quality or original ideas though, and became more of a live-action version of the cartoons. While the 90s film did end up making a third movie, there you go, Michael Bay, more modern movies ended out only after 2 outings. Neither adaptation managed to launch a successful cinematic franchise, with most other TMNT movies being one-offs and digital releases. Again, Secret of the Ooze was a solid sequel. Maybe not as good as the original, but it was a solid sequel. Given if they refer to Ninja Turtles 3, then I will gladly give that to them. Anyways, however, it um it does have an extra pressure to form considering the franchise track record. which will hopefully overcome. I'm hoping too. I'm hoping too. Trust me, I'm hoping that I would enjoy Mutant Mayhem 2. I'm hoping it is a really good sequel. I'm hoping, which I kind of doubt it will, but I'm hoping it has the capability of knocking the 90s film off the bandwagon of being the best minstrel film out there. Anyways, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem can adapt a dark storyline from a TMNT comic featuring Bebop and Rocksteady and make it more tragic. So, how can Mutant Mayhem can fix the problems with this previous TMT movie sequel? Well, one, how like the sequel of Mutant Mayhem can fix the issues I have with the actual Mutant Mayhem movie is actually being true to the Ninja Turtle lore. First, it needs to be true to the Ninja Turtle lore, and then we can talk. Anyways, Mutant Mayhem could be a movie that fixes previous problems with TMNT movie sequels. So long as it sticks to the strengths, that film has a vibrant personality, that has a youthful feel, and great comedy that doesn't come across as too forced, maintaining the same visuals, style, and way forward for the sequel. Although the tone should be darker with Shredder's addition, which I agree. Shredder's voice casting for Mutant Mayhem 2 will be important. Also agreed. I think that's like the first thing I officially agree with this person on in this article. Um, and they must secure the best action actor for the job, not just the biggest name. Oh my god, they're finally making sense. They're finally making sense. Like, oh my god, thank you. Thank you. They're finally making sense. Considering he will be pivotal in the plot, Shredder's design and voice work have to be compelling. I don't know why my mouse isn't working with me. Anyways, there are also plenty of new characters TMNT Mutant Mayhem 2 could introduce to elevate the film. Whether these are other recognizable names in the franchise or new additions like Superfly, adding more characters will help to the sequel be a bigger hit. If it works with a plot, sure. If they're just adding characters just to add characters, then no. If it serves the plot well, then yes. This would also allow the cast to be fleshed out, especially if some of the first movie's characters don't return. Mutant Mayhem has plenty of bodies, and it may be the movie to fix TMNT's run of poor sequels. If the creators take their time and stick to, to what works, Mutant Mayhem 2 should become the franchise's best sequel yet. I don't know, because like I said, Secret of the Ooze is up there. Like, sure, I'll give you guys it, even though it's my favorite. I know I said this multiple times in the video. Secret of the Ooze is not as good as the first Ninja film, but still solid, still passable. It still can stand on its 2 feet. So, like, if it wants to claim the best Ninja sequel, it has a lot of work to do. It has a lot of work to do. Anyways, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2 is a sequel to the popular 2023 animated film that rebooted the franchise. The sequel will feature the Turtles' arch enemy Shredder, whom they must stop to protect New York City. Okay. And you guys are probably going to get tired of hearing me say this, but Out of the Shadows, there was a I liked it better than the first one, sure, but it doesn't match to me on the same level as as the Secret of the Ooze. Secret of the Ooze was so good, it is really hard, in my opinion, for it to get topped. Out of the Shadows did a nice job of trying, but it didn't make me enjoy it as much as I did Secret of the Ooze. Like I said, Mutant Mayhem can one do what Mutant Mayhem didn't do, and actually honor the lore of Ninja Turtles better than Mutant Mayhem did. That has one thing going for them. Two, the casting for Shredder, the tone of the Shredder, the tone of the movie has to be right. Um, and three, have less. I'm sorry, but have less pop culture references than Mutant Mayhem did. Because say what you want about Mutant Mayhem, good, bad, whatever. Taking away that I liked it as a kids film, but it was like a Ninja Turtle film. I will say this: regardless of how I feel about Mutant Mayhem, I like as a whole movie, whether I liked it or hated it. I personally cannot see it surviving like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and it aged well. And it aged well. I feel like both um Secret of the Ooze and Out of the Shadows have aged pretty well, all things considered, since their respective years of releasing, right? Even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, which was the weakest of the 1990s film, as weak as it was compared to the other two, I like that film way better than Mutant Mayhem. So that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Got one other. I will talk to you fellow mutants later.